What is up, guys? Welcome back to Gamer Grade. As usual, it's Jay, and in this beginner's guide to crafting, I'll be showing you a step-by-step complete walkthrough to physically craft the Griffin School Silver Sword, all the way from basic to Grandmaster. It's all covered: monster tissue, monster hearts, monster brains, everything. It's all in the video. I'm gonna stop talking. Roll the guide. Before you can physically craft and fully upgrade the Griffin School Silver Sword, you'll first need to find all the relevant crafting diagrams. If you haven't already done this, make sure to check out my Griffin School upgrade guide linked in the description, which details the location of every Griffin School diagram from basic to Grandmaster. When crafting any type of Witcher gear, you need to make sure the craftsman you visit is appropriately skilled. Amateur level craftsmen cannot craft any Witcher gear even at their most basic level, while journeyman skilled crafters have the ability to piece together basic, enhanced and superior quality Witcher gear. Master level craftsmen can craft all Witcher gear up to and including Mastercrafted quality. Hattori, the Master Blacksmith found in Novigrad City, and Joanna, the Master Armourer at Crow's Perch, are the only two available Master Crafters in the base game. Top tier Grandmaster level crafters can craft all Witcher gear at any level of quality, bar none. And there's only one Grandmaster crafter in the entire game, who goes by the name Lazar Lafargue. Once your Witcher gear is at Mastercrafted quality, you'll then need to visit Lafargue, who lives in the country of Toussaint, which is exclusive to the Blood and Wine expansion. Lafargue's specialised workshop can be found just to the south of the Grand Place signpost in the capital city Beauclair, as shown here. You can check specific craftsman skill requirements for the item you wish to craft at the bottom right of the crafting screen. When crafting any type of Witcher gear, there's two specific screens you need to get very familiar with when visiting a craftsman. The first screen is the main crafting screen, which has several useful sub-menus down the left-hand side. Near the top of the list, you'll see a menu labelled Crafting Components. Expand this menu and become familiar with the recipes. This is where you'll spend a good deal of time crafting required ingredients for Witcher gear recipes. You'll also be spending a lot of time on the dismantling screen by tabbing over to the right. Dismantling allows you to break down existing materials you've looted from the field into the required ingredients for Witcher gear recipes. Okay, the very first thing we need to do is craft the basic version of the Griffin School Silver Sword. The ingredients required are 1 leather scrap, 3 silver ingots, 1/5 essence, and 1 monster brain. These numbers are indicated by the figure to the right of each forward slash, as shown here. The figure to the left indicates how much of the ingredient you already have in your possession. The golden sack and number displayed at the top right of an ingredient's icon indicates this particular trader currently possesses that material in his wares. In this instance, the trader can sell me up to 5 leather scraps at 16 crowns apiece, as well as 5 times 5th essence at 127 crowns apiece if I needed them. Alternatively, if you wanted to minimise costs and save coin, you can look into crafting your own materials from scratch. To do this, you'll need to expand the Crafting Components menu to the top left of the crafting screen. 1 leather scrap is the first ingredient required to craft the Griffin School Silver Sword at basic quality. As you can see, it only costs 4 crowns and 4 leather straps to craft the required leather scrap ingredient. Note, leather scraps are a different and superior ingredient to leather straps. You should have looted a good number of leather straps from the environment by this stage. Alternatively, you can also dismantle any cured leather you've looted into the required straps by tabbing over to the dismantling page. 3 silver ingots are the second ingredient required to craft the Griffin School Silver Sword at basic quality. On the Crafting Components menu of the crafting page, scroll down to the recipe for silver ingot. As you can see, I have 2 possible recipes to craft silver ingots. The first option requires 2 silver ores, and as indicated by the gold number, this trader currently has 3 silver ores for sale, costing 110 crowns a piece. The second option requires 10 silver to craft 1 silver ingot. Don't forget, you can also manually craft silver ores using the silver ingredient by scrolling down to the silver ore recipe. Whichever option you choose, the cost to craft each silver ingot will cost 20 crowns a piece, as displayed by the figure at the bottom of the screen. A fifth essence is the third ingredient required to craft the Griffin School Silver Sword at basic quality. If you don't already have any in your possession, simply purchase one from the crafter. In my case, this will cost me 127 crowns per vial. The final fourth ingredient to craft the Griffin School Silver Sword at basic quality is a monster brain. To acquire a monster brain, I need to use the dismantling services of the crafter by tabbing over to the dismantle page. All the ingredients you have in your possession that can be broken down into alternative materials are displayed to the left. I've already looted several drowner brains from drowner corpses, which I can select to be broken down into the required monster brains. The price displayed is the grand total to break down the entire stack of highlighted brains. This amount can be altered after selecting the stack, which ends up costing 7 crowns to dismantle 1 brain. The components displayed to the right are what you'll receive after dismantling the selected ingredients. A nice bonus here is I also receive a vial of monster blood with every drowner brain dismantled. Now I can go ahead and physically craft the basic version of the Griffin School Silver Sword for the price in crowns displayed at the bottom of the screen. The next quality up is the enhanced version of the sword, which I can select under the Silver Sword menu to the left of the crafting page. As you can see, the first item we need to craft the enhanced version is the basic version of the sword, which we now have. We also need 2 leather straps, 2 meteorite silver ingots, 1 monster egg, and 1 monster tongue. The only ingredient I don't have is the monster egg, but for the purposes of this guide, we'll cover all the ingredients as required. The first material we need are 2 leather straps. It's likely you've already looted several of these from the environment. If not, you can simply purchase them from the crafter, or dismantle leather scraps into leather straps on the dismantling page. 2 meteorite silver ingots are the second ingredient required to craft the Griffin School Silver Sword at enhanced quality. In my case, the crafter has 4 of these in his store, costing me 482 crowns per ingot if I were to buy them. If you wanted to save money and craft your own, expand the crafting components menu to the left and scroll down to the recipe for meteorite silver ingot. As you can see, I need 1 meteorite ingot and 1 silver ingot to craft a meteorite silver ingot, costing 43 crowns to craft each one. Remember, if you don't have enough meteorite or silver ingots, you can also craft these yourself. Simply locate them in the same crafting components menu and check their own individual recipes. The third ingredient required to craft the Griffin School Silver Sword at enhanced quality is a monster egg. To get one, I need to tab over to the dismantling services page of the crafter. I've looted several eggs from various monsters, which I can select to be broken down into the required monster egg for the recipe. The harpy's egg is the cheapest to break down, so I'll go ahead and dismantle one to get the ingredient I need. 1 monster tongue is the final 4th ingredient required to craft the Griffin School Silver Sword at enhanced quality. Tabbing over to the dismantling screen, I can see I have 50 drowner tongues. Dismantling one of these will give me the monster tongue I need, for just 7 crowns. Tabbing back over to the Silver Sword menu on the crafting screen, I can now go ahead and craft the enhanced version of the Griffin School Silver Sword, for the price displayed at the bottom of the screen. The next quality up is Superior, which I can select on the left menu of the crafting page. As you can see, the first item we need to craft the superior version is the enhanced version of the sword, which we now have. We also need 2 leather scraps, 1 Dimeritium Ingot, 1 monster blood, and 1 powdered monster tissue. We already know combining 4 leather straps or dismantling a superior material like cured leather will produce a leather scrap. To craft a Dimeritium ingot, expand the crafting components menu and highlight the Dimeritium ingot recipe. As you can see here, I have two possible options. The first recipe requires 1 Dimeritium ore and 1 glowing ore ingot. The second recipe requires just 2 Dimeritium ores. And in my particular case, as I'm in possession of so many Dimeritium ores, the second option would be preferable. Crafting a single Dimeritium ingot will also cost me 125 crowns, as displayed at the bottom of the screen. 1 monster blood is the third ingredient required to craft the Griffin School Silver Sword at superior quality. Tabbing back over to the dismantling services page, I can see all the blood I've looted from monsters, which can all be dismantled. 1 vial of Necker blood will cost me just 7 crowns to break down into the monster blood I need. 1 powdered monster tissue is the fourth and final ingredient required to craft the Griffin School Silver Sword at superior quality. Powdered monster tissue can be acquired by dismantling spectre dust, and in my case will cost just 7 crowns per item. You can also get it from breaking down griffin feathers, gargoyle hearts and gargoyle dust, to name a few others. Tabbing back over to the Silver Sword menu on the crafting screen, I can now go ahead and craft the superior version of the Griffin School Silver Sword, for the price displayed at the bottom of the screen. The next quality up is the Mastercrafted version, which I can select on the left menu of the crafting page. As you can see, the first item we need to craft the Mastercrafted version is the superior version of the sword, which we now have. We also need 2 leather scraps, 2 Dimeritium ingots, 1 monster feather and 1 monster heart. The only 2 ingredients we haven't covered here are the monster feather and the monster heart, which, as you've probably guessed, are both acquired by tabbing over to the dismantling page. Dismantling harpy feathers, griffin eggs and Arinia eyes will all give monster feathers when broken down, and any hearts you've looted from monsters will all dismantle into monster hearts. Tabbing back over to the Silver Sword menu on the crafting screen, I can now go ahead and craft the Mastercrafted version of the Griffin School Silver Sword, for the price displayed at the bottom of the screen. The ultimate level Witcher gear can be upgraded to is Grandmaster quality, and as previously mentioned, we need to visit Lazare Lafargue in Beauclair, the capital city of Toussaint, which is exclusive to the Blood and Wine expansion. After completing his quest to unlock his Grandmaster level services, speak with him and select the Grandmaster Griffin Silver Sword on the left menu of the crafting page. As you can see, the first item we need to craft the Grandmaster version is the Mastercrafted version of the sword, which we now have. We also need 2 leather scraps, 2 Enriched Dimeritium Ingots, 1 monster heart and 1 monster essence. The only 2 ingredients we haven't already covered are the Enriched Dimeritium Ingots and the monster essence. As you can see, Lafargue has 5 Enriched Dimeritium Ingots in stock, and he can sell them to me for 2,287 crowns per ingot. That's a total of 4,574 crowns for the pair we need. That's a pretty steep price for just 2 ingots, so let's see how much cheaper it would be to craft our own. Expanding the crafting components menu and scrolling down to the recipe for Enriched Dimeritium Ingots, we can see 2 Enriched Dimeritium ores are required to craft 1 Enriched Dimeritium Ingot. The trader has 6 of these ores in stock, but once again they're expensive, so we'll continue digging down with the crafting options to see just how much we can save in crowns. Scrolling down to check the recipe for crafting Enriched Dimeritium ores, we can see we need 1 standard Dimeritium ore, 1 Orichalcum ore, and 1 acid extract. As we need 2 Enriched Dimeritium ores to make a single Enriched Dimeritium Ingot, and 2 Enriched Dimeritium Ingots are required for the sword, this means we need in total 4 Dimeritium ores, 4 Orichalcum ores, and 4 acid extracts. As you can see, I already have enough Dimeritium ores and Orichalcum ores in my possession, but the acid extracts I have 0. Tabbing over to the dismantling page and selecting the Kikimor discharge I've looted from their sorry backsides will break down into the vials of the acid extracts I need. As it turns out, each vial of Kikimor discharge results in 3 vials of acid extract when broken down. So, dismantling the 2 I have in my inventory will give me 6 acid extracts in total. Tabbing back to the recipe for the Enriched Dimeritium ore under the Crafting Components menu, I now have all the ingredients required to make the 4 Enriched Dimeritium ores I require. Scrolling back up to the recipe for the Enriched Dimeritium Ingots, I can now craft the 2 ingots needed for crafting the Grandmaster Griffin Silver Sword. This method cost me 24 crowns to dismantle the acid extracts, 448 crowns to craft the 4 Enriched Dimeritium ores, and finally 448 crowns to craft the 2 Enriched Dimeritium Ingots. That's a grand total of 920 crowns in crafting costs, which is significantly cheaper than the 4,574 crowns it would otherwise cost to purchase the ingots directly from Lafargue's shop. Remember, the costs you see in your game may vary, as it all depends on the crafters you visit, their stock levels, and the materials you already own. Once you're familiar with crafting just one piece of Witcher gear, it's a very similar process for crafting every other craftable item in the game. If you learned a thing or two from this video, please punch that thumbs up and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more quality content from Gamer Grade. Every like and sub helps me tremendously and will allow me to make more kick-ass videos in future. I'm Jay, peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.